How can we be different and win best ball tournaments? A question that all of us ask all the time. How can we be unique? Well, to say it, words. Well, today we are going to talk about how to be unique. We're going to show you how to get combos that others might not have at all. Some you might be surprised by. Let's do it.
Three, two, one. Liftoff.
Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, which means it is time to fire a draft, which is what we do every Sunday morning. I'm like delirious this morning. Good thing I have a second coffee to drink this fine morning. But we're going to draft on drafters. We're going to look at unique combos. I'm going to show you how you can use the Spike Week tool actually to find those unique combos. It's something that I am very much for. I know not everyone wants to do it, especially this early. I understand that to a degree, but I am quite different in that regard. I think that firing unique combos all throughout is the way to do it. So we're going to fire this $20 main event over on Drafters and look to get some unique combos. We have a ton of new music from Jesse today to listen to as well, which is great. He actually named them, which we usually have to name them, but we're gonna, if you hear a song that sounds like an NFL player that's playing this season, let me know and we'll name that song after them for the stream. We need one more. Uno Mas to draft this drafters draft. Hope everyone's weekend's going quite well. I am enjoying mine as much as I can. Editing a lot of, editing video as much as I can edit video, which is a lot because I'm very good at it. Humble brag. Anyways, we are in the draft. I am going to tell you guys a little bit about what I have on screen. Good morning, Omega King. Good morning, Jonathan. Guessin, good morning. Versier, good morning. The crew's here. The crew is in this draft as well. We have Self. We have Ralph Wiggum. We have Moxie. And if you're in here as well, let me know. FF Links with 95 drafters drafts already, which is impressive and financially smart as well, because right now drafters is giving you double the tickets that they would normally give away when you hit each milestone. I think it's 10, 25, 75, 100. I think that's the case. So shout out to FF Links for maximizing that. I'm planning to get quite a bit of drafters drafts in this month to hit some of those milestones. I don't know if I'll quite get to 100. That would be great, but it's a tough number to get to. All right, so I want to show, I might have to do this. Hold on. What are we doing here? Okay, so I have everything I need to show you guys here. I went through and I kind of changed some of my screen earlier. So we're going to show, it took out my tournament ownership for today, which I'll add back in, but this is just going to show us our ownership with our quarterback one today, our round one draft pick, our round two, our round 1 and 2, and then the two last ones are the most important ones. We are looking at the projected ownership with our round 1 pick and our projected ownership with our round 2 pick. So that's going to help us get unique combinations, and I'll show you what I mean when we draft here. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Chris. He's in the 9 spot. That is Lego there. We have the 10. Yes, this is a good one, Jesse. We're trying to figure out which NFL player this is so that I can keep my theme of naming the songs that we stream after NFL players. But I think this is going to be a good exercise to show you guys some surprises when it comes to unique combos. So that'll be our goal for the day, is just to get some unique ownership. It doesn't have to be the entire team, but that's going to be what we're doing here today for the most part. So we see neighbors go. We got a Monra here. We got Nico, Ashton, Jeanty. We can grab here at the 10 spot if we wanted to. And I'm just going to grab Nico. And we're going to find a way to get a unique Nico team, because that is very on brand for me. Do I think unique is stronger on drafters over other sites? I would have to really think about that question, which we will do in a second here. Let's get our second pick in. So as you can see, like if Brian Thomas falls back to us, as much as I love getting Nico Brian Thomas, we're projecting that combo is 25%. So, and it's one that I know that I have a bit. So if we just look past here a little bit, Brock is at 13%, so that's quite heavy. But if we look at Lad, there are not a lot of Lad Nico teams. So I think that we're going to go ahead and grab a Nico Lad McConkey team here, just to get a little bit different from the field. And if you really wanted to go nuts, Garrett Wilson would be up there as well. I did not realize that Garrett Wilson had risen to the second round here on drafters. So that's intriguing. But that just kind of shows you, like, I love that Nico Brian Thomas start. 25% though. Good morning, Jason in the 4 spot. I knew that name looked familiar. The question posed was, do we think that being unique is more beneficial on drafters than other sites? And I'm sure there is a correct answer to that. My answer, like without diving into hours and hours of research, would be, if I can build good teams with the same players that everyone else is building, but do it in a different way, then I just think that's an overall edge, no matter what site you're drafting on, whether it's a cumulative scoring format, whether it's a playoff format. So I think I just want to build better teams with the same players than others are doing. And I have a bit of a take on something else that I do that I don't think a lot of, not that others don't do it, because obviously they're getting drafted, but we'll talk about that in a second as well. So I think people sometimes also conflate being unique with being insane and just doing stupid shit. And I don't think that you have to be dumb to do a unique team, right? I think that you can build unique teams that others aren't building. We've talked about it through structure. That's one way, by drafting certain structures but doing it in a way that others aren't doing it. In past years, it would have been, let's build hero RB teams, but let's do it with Derrick Henry, when a lot of the hero RB builders prefer someone else to do the hero RB builds with. Like 2 years ago, I think all the hero RBs were CMC teams. And it's not that you can't do that, but mixing it up a bit as well. And I think this year there's a pretty exploitive edge versus the field of drafters that draft like people that generally watch this stream or a lot of best ball streams out there. And for me, that is the elite quarterback situation. And this is kind of like my take every year. I don't know why this mouse cord is driving me insane today. But I think that a lot of people that are building zero RB teams or hero RB teams are gravitating heavily towards elite tight end, which I have no problem with. But in doing so, they are circumventing elite QB completely. Never a good thing, Jonathan. We're about to be on the clock here. And now we can look at our ownership projections versus both our first and second round pick. So, like, looking at Lamar gets heavily drafted with Nico, but he's only 5% with Lad. So these are the things that we can kind of take into account. Like, yeah, Lamar with Nico is common, but we already know that Nico with Lad is pretty infrequent. And then when it's 5% Lamar with Lad versus, you know, the Nico Lad pairing already being severely underweight, we can grab Lamar here if we wanted to, which I'd like to do. Even Josh Allen is 22% with Nico, which is kind of heavy. So let's go ahead. Let's grab Lamar here to just kind of go into some of the stuff we were just talking about. I like that. And then we can sort of look through. I have a hot take on Mike Evans that I just sort of had an epiphany with this past week. I'm not drafting any more Mike Evans this year. Personally. I like Mike Evans. Big fan of Mike Evans throughout his career, but I think it is time to let Mike Evans go. All right, we're going to be back on the clock here in a second. And we are looking at, I don't have any Tet with these guys. It's 10% across the board for both of those as combos. Let's go with Tet. Let's grab Tet here. Let's go Nico, Lad, Lamar, Tet, McMillan for our team right now. And I like it. This one right here, Jesse, should be the Steph Dig song. All right, we'll call this Steph Digs. I do see that RGT is saying that a mistake that he made last season was pairing his elite quarterback with one late round dust ball. I want to pair my elite with someone going 100 to 120. I think you can push a little more on drafters, though. I agree. This has always been sort of my take with elite QB. Just, I think that's the other thing that people do is because they take the elite QB, they're actively pushing that second QB so much. And at that point, I'd almost rather go solo QB than just taking the absolute dustiest of dust balls. Because how much points is someone like that adding? If you're grabbing a second QB, should probably just be in that QB range somewhere. Good morning, No Cap Mac. Versier says he's naturally and unintentionally faded Mike Evans a bit this year. Part of the reason is his stance on Godwin, but also because there are too many guys I want exposure to at that 3-4 area. Yeah, so this is some of my take, is I want a lot of the guys in that range, and I'm going to have to make sacrifices. And I just think back to last year where the Bucks were good, and what do we remember from the last Bucks game? I remember them forcing the ball to Mike Evans to just get him to that 1,000-yard season, to keep that record alive. And now that they've drafted Ibuka, they have Godwin, Jalen McMillan, whatever you want to think about him. Kate Otten can catch some footballs. Mike Evans is getting up there in age, not a young boy. I don't know, man. I just am sort of, I think I'm out think I'm out this year. As a guy that's been in on Mike Evans more than others the last few years, I think it's time to cut him loose. Mike Evans is for the streets now. Mike Evans is for the streets. So that's where we're at with Mike Evans, which sucks because, like I said, I do like Mike Evans. He's always been a player I've enjoyed watching. So, but these are the things, these are decisions we have to make sometimes. What is our next song here? All right, we're on the clock here in a second. It's also sort of like when you're looking through these combos, you can sort of see how people are building teams sometimes as well. All right, we see Chuba go. I think it's pretty easy that we're going to grab Kenneth Walker here. There's another guy that I would have liked to grab as well, but I think Walker is the play right now. And we'll just have to sacrifice the other guy that we would have wanted, which is okay. I was wondering what was going on there, Self. I didn't want to call it out. I wasn't sure if it was an auto. But hey, we are talking about unique starts today. Drafting Burrow without T or Chase allows you to get probably a more unique Joe Burrow team. I didn't say better. I said more unique. We got Torstar on the clock here. He grabs Connor, and I wanted Waddle as my last pick, so I think that although Waddle is 15% projected with Nico, he's only 7% with Ladd, and I think that we don't always have to worry about the unique combos as we're building through a team. You just want to make some pivot points throughout the draft, and I really like Jalen Waddle here. So we're going to grab Waddle, but like, if you were looking for a unique combo at this point, let's get off auto pick. Debo is only 4% right now with Nico. It's interesting to note. David Montgomery is only 4%. Laporter's at 6. Ricky Pearsall's at 4. And then you got like your 8, your 9s, because we brought up Ladd. Those guys are going to be a little bit more heavily balanced with them. But then if you, oh God, we'll never do it because I won't click the name. But like the ultimate guy to get with like a Nico Ladd start would be like a Jacoby Myers, right? Which we'll never do because I'm never drafting Jacoby Myers because I'm not a fucking idiot. So you can clip that if you want as well, because that's my thought process. Jacoby Myers, one of the worst clicks on the board. One of the worst clicks on the board, Jacoby Myers. 7th round, Jacoby Myers. Get out of my face. Get out of my entire face. 7th round, Jacoby Myers. It's a good point, Versaire. It's a good point. But if we are drafters that don't intentionally like to draft Joe Burrow naked, the Vendetta drafters are probably drafting bad teams. So if you were to do it, you can probably draft a better team than a lot of the naked Joe Burrow drafters. I can't draft Joe Burrow because, like, ouch. Joe Burrow before, like, Jalen Hurts, which I know is where he's going, seems insane to me. Worst pick one of the worst picks on the board, Jesse. 2025. It's not happening. He's done. His stats suck. Not a good pick. You can draft Ginty. I understand. You can draft Bowers. Totally get it. Jacoby Myers is not good. First here is saying that Joe Burrow is a terrible eliminator pick. The Bengals suck for the first 5 weeks. You won't advance. Yeah, they historically... Man, what ramifications that week 1 game had last year with the Bengals and Patriots. The Bengals should have won that game. That gets them into the playoffs, I believe, if they have that extra win. And the Patriots, if they get that L, they have the first overall pick. Just truly generational fumbling. Oh boy. All right. Oh, God damn it. We might be making some sort of crazy hero RB build. We're gonna grab Downs because I like Downs better than all the wide receivers here. I kind of like Diggs too. But let's see what comes back to us. Oh boy, is it not great. Okay. We will be okay. We will overcome. We will endure. See Mooney. We see Pittman go. I think that this just gives me the chance to take Golden as my 6th wide receiver. I feel like if I'm taking Golden as a 6 wideout, it feels the best way to do it. So that's what we're going to do. I don't like Pittman more. I think Downs is the play. I understand the Pittman take, though. I don't agree with it, but I understand it, and I can totally see how I'm wrong on that one. Like, it's not one that I'm willing to fight. You know what I mean? This is This is the hottest take I've seen anyone throw out there. Matthew Golden is this year's Lad McConkey. That's a spicy take. Huron is getting called out for his RBs, but I have a feeling I know how he's building this team, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I have a few issues with Pittman. I mean, the QB issue is one. I think that there's a lot of variables with Pittman as a player this year, right? He is dealing with the quarterback issue. He's coming off of the injury. I know he didn't have to have surgery for it, but that's still your back, man. That's still a tough injury overall. I don't love it. Like that's a scary ass injury. Just think Downs is probably as good or better of a player at this point, and he's younger. You're not going to get any Diggs fallout. Just letting you know right now, there's no Diggs fallout coming. There's That's because there was a video. There's no crime. There's no proof of anything. They're not going to do anything to Stephon Diggs. Eat up the value on Diggs right now if you can. I have been a little bit. All right, Lego is gonna draft Jalen Warren. We are going to draft Andrews. Actually, we're gonna draft. Oh God. We're gonna draft Najee. Psych, we're gonna draft Zach Charbonnet. You guys got tricked. You guys got fooled. We need to grab a couple RBs in this area, probably. And remember, week 1 is just as important as week 17. That's why Najee is a okay pick here, but I think I'd rather just grab Charbonnet. And then I think we're going to grab Javonte Williams as well. Versier, I have no answer. I wish I had one. I really do. I really wish I knew if I wanted Tyrone Tracy or Cam Scatterbo, because this range of the draft would be so much easier if I had a fucking lean on that situation. What's the Sharp bull case? A Sharp bull case is really, really easy. We did pair him with Kenneth Walker, which is fun. So the Sharp bull case is, we know that he has standalone value. He's not going to just sit on the bench. He will play even when Kenneth Walker is active. And we know that if Walker goes down with injury, which he likes to do quite a bit, you're getting 90% of the work in the hands of Zach Charbonnet. So is he a little expensive? Probably. But he has standalone value and he has like huge contingent value. So that is your Zach Charbonnet bull case. And I'm fine with locking up the Seattle backfield as well, because they're sort of contingent upon each other as well. There is a world where Zach Charbonnet is third on the team in receptions this season. That I agree with as well. I don't think so, Versier. I think if it was like, especially because we're doing it with our 5th round pick, I think it's fine. I think if you're doing any more than a 5th, I don't really think there's anyone else up here that even applies to, though. Well, I guess Gibbs. Gibbs with David Montgomery is the one I couldn't do. But 5th and 9th is fine. Especially the way that the draft boards are laying out right now, where RB is really tough this year, I think, in this range. Though Ramondre was a good pick too. I think Ramondre is going where he should go, but I think a lot of people like that draft like us are overlooking Ramondre, so I've been grabbing quite a bit of Ramondre as well. So that's my takes on that. And it's also a unique combo because people are scared to do it. So it fits the theme of the show. All right, we are about to be back on the clock here in a second. See Dalton Kincaid go. We're going to grab Tyjae Spears here. QBs do matter. See a huge tight end run go on the next two spots. I could grab Jordan Love, or we could grab Rashad White. Let's grab Love. Let's do that. That's the play, I think, here. We'll stack up Love with Golden. Be done at QB. Do you guys think that Giddens, Marks, and Taj Brooks are good picks right now? Or are locked-in backups like Algier, Braylon Allen, and Lloyd much smarter picks? Oh, did not mean to do that. Guess we'll change songs. So I think that this is really site-dependent. I think that Algier, Braylon Allen are probably... I mean, it's also depending on your build. Like, that is huge. But Algier, Braylon Allen are probably better picks on cumulative scoring like drafters, where sometimes I'd rather have the upside of Giddens and Marks and Taj Brooks and playoff contest, right? But really depends on your build. When we're building a running back room like we have right now, with Walker, Charbonnet, Javonte Williams, Tyjae Spears, I mean, sure, Algier's fine, but sometimes I want to add a little potential pop to that backfield as well. And I don't really put Marshawn Lloyd right now in that category. I think we need to see more. So I think that it really depends on your build. I know that's like kind of a cop-out answer, but certain players fit certain builds better. And mesh with the other guys on your team better. Like, you don't want to build your team out of a lot of Giddens, Marks, and Taj Brooks. But if you're doing a 0 RB build, or even if you're doing like a 5 RB build or a 6 RB build, getting an Algier then a Taj Brooks to sort of balance them out is something I like doing. So hopefully that answers that question. What does unique combo mean? So we're looking for unique combinations of players. And we started that by getting Nico and Ladd McConkey, which we saw was a combo that is not getting drafted quite frequently in the drafter streets. So we started off with a unique combo with those two, and I'll show you a bit more in a second of how we're figuring this out. Lego is keeping us in suspense. Going all the way to the wire. He grabs Dubs, which means that we get Isaiah Likely, which is who I was hoping would fall back to us. It was a scary push. I didn't want to bring it up as we were doing it, but we get it. So we're just going to grab Likely now to make sure we lock up that Lamar Likely combo. And just to go with that unique combo, if we're looking at our overlay here, I have our Spike Week projected round 1 ownership. So Jalen McMillan right now, our first round pick was Nico Collins. 7% of teams are projecting to have Jalen McMillan with Nico Collins. And then Jalen McMillan is 8% with Ladd McConkey. So that's how we're trying to find our unique guy. So like Pat Bryant, I think it was Pat Bryant. Did he move? Or Zach Ertz is 6% with Nico Collins, so you don't see that too much. And then like Tua is 6% with both of them. Obviously, we're not doing that. I do think that this is a good Tyler Algier team for some of the reasons that we've already discussed. So we're going to go ahead and grab Tyler Algier as well. Yeah, so Versier's answer is good. The other thing I want to bring up, and maybe I brought this up before, but something that drives me insane about these late round, these 18th, 19th, 20th round picks is people trying to draft the safe backups, like projectable roles. And we learn this lesson every year that we just don't know on some of these teams. Like if there's any sort of murkiness, we're unsure. And to be saying that Rashawn Johnson is locked in as like an RB2 is fucking baffling to me. I'm swearing a lot today and I apologize. But it's absolutely baffling to me that we're picking Rashawn Johnson over a Marks or a Taj Brooks at a heavier clip because we think we know that he is the RB2 when we have a coaching staff overhaul there. We don't feel great about the backfield in general. He could be more than the RB2, but he could also be nothing. I don't think that there is any sort of projectable role, like locked in projectable role in cases like that. And I think that you should be taking swings back then. Yeah, it's Khalil Herbert all over again. It's insane. Like we're locking in these things. Like I took Javonte Williams. I don't know that he's gonna be the best Dallas back, but I want some of him. And in drafters, if it's even 7-8 weeks, and then I can get other guys that pick up the slack, that's fine. It's not a playoff thing. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get that sentiment. I know it's the whole like I think it's people overcompensating for Leone's manifesto, where he wrote that we don't want zeros, and it's like, of course we don't want zeros. Not knocking Leone here, but I think that people are taking that manifesto and being like, well, if we don't want zeros, we need to make sure that we're getting guys that are on the field, and it's like, but you're not. Let's go to the auction draft comparison. These are $1 players. So if it's all $1 players, there's a reason they're $1 players. There's a reason that Zach Charbonnet as an RB2 is getting drafted 7 rounds higher than these 18th round guys, or 8 rounds higher. It's because we do know what that situation is. If it's that far down, when we do know, the guys start to rise up, right? Will Shipley, we pretty much know that he is the RB2 with Kenneth Gainwell gone, and they didn't really add anything there. So what happens? He rises up. I just Shipley went in the 14th in this draft, which is fine. Like it's totally fine because he does have that projectable backup role. It just blows my mind that is sort of our thought process sometimes. Drives me insane. Rant over, I suppose. We are about to be on the clock, and I can think of nothing better than getting Mike Gesicki with Isaiah Likely. And that is a tight end room that I am fine with having 2 on. If we need to add a third, sure. But I don't feel like I have to. Let's see what we want to do here. So we have 6 wideouts. We have 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. We're done at QB. And you do see that the projected ownership of players sort of spreads out a bit more the further you get down because of the way players get moved around. But you still get players that you shouldn't draft, like Anthony Richardson at 6 and 7% with your first and second rounder. We're not going to do that though. I think we're going to grab Hunter here. Round 16 Jacquizz Hunter. Let's do it. So we got some we've got some just like hopeful projectable volume guys, but then we're going to take some upside shots like Jack Quiz Hunter on this team. I saw a question here. Who's your favorite contingent upside guy that's not T or Montgomery? Likely someone I try to click more often because of contingent upside. Well, I think that I've explained this in the past. I don't think likely is just contingent upside. I think that the Ravens can run the majority of their passing game through both tight ends. So I don't have to. Sometimes I will draft likely with Mark Andrews. Contingent upside guys, like for me, I'm going to always default to running back. I think those are the ones that I want. I think Shipley right now is like a huge contingent upside guy that I want. But we know like Algier is great for that. Charbonnet, as we brought up as well. Those are the contingent upside guys that I want that are going to come in and consolidate a backfield. There are question marks, like DJ Giddens is a guy that I like to draft a lot. We think that maybe he can do that, but we're not 100% sure that's the way that's going to be. So there are some guys that we know for sure are going to do that. And Trey Benson is my other favorite pick. He's gotten a little more expensive, but I like Trey Benson a lot as well. Versier says he's hammering Hunter because of the coach speak, but they could just rug pull us with Corum still. Sure. But his price is still suppressed enough that I'm fine with getting overweight. Harbaugh says a lot of things, but I agree with this. He could be an all-pro. He's also taking the old school traditional tight end path too, where it takes a couple years before they become that elite tight end. That is correct, James. Yeah, but I think he's a smash overall. That's all. I think he could just be a smash out the gate. I don't think something has to happen. I think he can just be the dude. I think this is a pretty obvious pick for me. Just have a feeling that AO Manor is going to end up moving up draft boards pretty soon. So we're going to go ahead and grab him. Just I was reading a bit of the Tennessee report, and basically he's their only X receiver from what the beats are saying. So I think you're going to see him move up a little bit. Yeah, just smash likely. I think you can smash both Ravens tight ends at a heavy clip and feel very comfortable with it. Yeah, I've seen that as well, Versier, but I just think it's got to do with the construction of that team right now. I'm going to take Calvin Austin. I think we're going to be done at wide receiver. Shout out to Tyler Lockett. Really enjoy this team. I think it's a fun one. Not my standard build on drafters. I do like trying to get and RB generally. I like to go at least hero RB on drafters on cumulative scoring. So we sort of pushed that and got Walker at a bit of a value. But I think it's a fun team overall. I think we have Pop in the lineup, and that's something that I'm always looking for. Can I get points every week, but do I also have Pop? And I think with Nico and Ladd, you always have Pop. And I'm trying to get a bit more Waddle just based on my stance on the Miami Dolphins this year, where I'm not drafting Tyreek. I think that makes me want to get more Waddle than what I've been getting. Yep, that's the way it works. We've learned the simulation. We have learned the simulation. But again, I think that just to put a cap on the unique combos thing, I think if you do have our overlay, you don't need to do unique combos every single draft, but sometimes throw up this projected ownership for maybe your round 1 and your round 2 picks and try to find a way to get unique combos. We went through last year's data showing players where they were drafted and who they were drafted with, and it's kind of astonishing. It is kind of astonishing to see as you look through it. So just something I would consider doing. There was an easy path to win last year. There were a few easy paths to win, and just getting unique combos with certain players. Like if you could have done it with Jonathan Taylor, getting some unique Jonathan Taylor teams in would have really helped. So I'm going to lock up a second backfield, and we're going to just do both of the gross Dallas backs. We're going to grab Sanders and Javonte Williams because we like to get trolled. And I assume that's what's going to happen with those picks. So that's going to be our 19th round pick. Even I ran a 4.8 in high school. Like even me. Like that was something that I ran in high school. So I think we're going to cap this off with the player we wanted to take. Pretty excited about it. I want to get some more Sanders as well. Not today, but I do want to get some more Jatavian Sanders. We're going to grab Taj Brooks. And I think this is a solid team. Sort of gives me all the stuff I want on like a, I guess, modified hero RB build. We actually locked up 2 backfields in this as well. Let's go over it. We went with Lamar. We went with Jordan Love as well for our 2 QBs. We have Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet for that Seattle backfield. We have Javonte Williams, Tyjae Spears, Tyler Algier, Sharquez Hunter, Miles Sanders to lock up 2 of the Dallas backs. And we have Taj Brooks as well. So we have guys that I think can give you just some projectable points here and there. And I think we have some like home run swings as well with Hunter and Taj Brooks. So sort of like that backfield. We have Nico, we have Ladd, we have Tet McMillan, and I am going to call him Tet because you don't get to pick your own nickname. Jalen Waddle, Josh Downs, Matthew Golden. We have Alec Eilmanor, Calvin Austin, Isaiah Likely, and Mike Gesicki. The only one I wasn't really sure about was this Calvin Austin pick. Wasn't really sure how I wanted to play that one, but I think it's fine. Probably was incorrect. Probably should have went for a little bit different of a pick there, but if my most nitpicky thing is my 18th round pick in a 20 round draft, I think that is going to be fine. So excited with that team. I think it was good. Again, make sure if you're using the tool, use it in ways that can help you build better teams, which I think getting unique combos is definitely one of those ones that I want to do. Make sure you're in the Discord. Jump over there. We're talking best ball all the time. We're also talking food. So I guess we're not talking best ball all the time. We're talking food. South is in there trying to get me to eat gas station pizza, which I will not do. But I hope you guys are going to have a phenomenal Sunday. I plan to have a phenomenal Sunday editing videos some more. But I hope you guys can get out there, do something fun. Until next Sunday, I will catch you later as I look for my outro. Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.